Shall we just jump in and give it a go? All right, recording. Okay, I'm gonna look at it and I'll count to 3. It's 3 and 2 and 1. Welcome to Get Chatty About Your Local Businesses podcast. And we have a familiar face this time again. Jay, how are you?
So great to see you, Arthur. I'm really well. All the better for seeing you.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm very happy to see you. It's been about a year since...
God, has it been that long already?
Yes, it has. And welcome to the first compilation episode of the Get Chatty podcast. So over the past holidays, I've been going through some of the footages from the last 30 episodes, and I found there's a lot of good bits that I didn't get to include in our original episodes, and I want to share it with you. Now, this episode is about being agile, money realities when it comes to grants, and other practical advice that I think not only applicable for businesses, but also in daily lives in general. Now, if any of the stories or clips that trigger your interest, please go to the show notes for the original full episodes. It's all available for you. Enjoy.
I've had one I recently did a review. So our project is committed to making a positive impact on the environment.
Yep.
And?
Yep.
Where's the rest of it?
What do you do?
What it ended up being was from habitat restoration initiatives to community engagement programs, every aspect of our project is designed to make a positive and measurable impact on the environment.
Oh, that's much better because you explain what it is and how you're going to do it instead of just...
Yeah, so that's the difference between what I call motherhood statements. It's just a generic assertion without any facts or feelings behind it. Have the facts and figures to back it up as well. So
absolutely. It's true because sometimes marketing are a little bit fast and loose with that. Let's
with tenders and grants, if you lie, you get busted and then you have to hand the funding back. So
yeah, well, oh gosh.
It's a little bit like applying for jobs. You can make things sound better than they are. You just can't lie about what you have and don't have.
Exactly. And then we will be back. I'll be back with Julia. And just cut. Oh, God. That was all right. What do you think? Yeah. I think my coffee's kicking in and I just need to adjust my light a little bit because I realize that the top of my head is a little bit dark, but then I don't want to stare directly to the light. Hang on. Let me just... Because at the moment, I look like I'm in a haunted hospital.
Somebody had done a list on Facebook of all the haunted sites you can go and visit.
Well, hey, if that's what you guys want to do it. Have fun. All right. Sorry, gas.
We'll fix this in post-edit.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
all right.
A lot of people would be like, oh, we don't need to do this. We're agile. That's not what it means. Right? You still have processes. You still have documentation. You still have all these things. It's just you do the least amount that is required for everybody to be on the same page.
I see. So it's like assessing all the different ways that you can approach it.
Yeah. Agile is a little over 20 years old now, and it was based out of software development. In the olden days, we would put together a whole list of requirements, go away for 12 months, code away, and then come back and share it with the marketing team. And they'd be like, that ain't what I wanted, right? And it's like, okay, well, rats. We just wasted a year and all kinds of money. So the concepts in Agile, in the principles are mostly, we want to get working software together. We want to get it quickly. We want to get feedback all the time, iteration and continuous improvement and all those sorts of things. And part of doing that is breaking things down into very small pieces. So for, say, a marketing campaign, right, you could potentially have a huge effort going on for months upon months to figure out how you're going to market to a particular segment or something like that.
Yep.
And there's probably no shortage of situations where you have done that and then you've launched and then it fizzled and didn't give you the results that you wanted. So what Agile will generally say is try little pieces, try a little bit here and there, start small, break things down into smaller parts, and then learn from them. And if your hypothesis is proven wrong, like we only spent 2 weeks, 4 weeks planning, we can learn from what has happened and then go back and improve it and go from there.
How easily and disjointed IT system can happen to small, medium-sized businesses?
Well, going back to how IT should be part of a startup, organically grown IT systems are the worst. You will hit a glass ceiling. You won't be able to expand your business. You'll have major security holes. The list is endless. The solution 9 times out of 10 is to completely gut everything and replace. So it's very expensive, very time consuming, a lot of downtime. It's very disruptive.
Let's say if there's someone that set up their business, been running for 5 years, how is an audit like? Because I mean, everyone knows about accounting audit, but how is an IT audit is like?
Well, it depends on the industry because of compliance. But generally running internal and external scans and also dark web scans. A business recently that contacted us, small business, they had their details compromised on the dark web, and someone bought the owner's username and password to their email, sat there and waited for a month watching their email.
Oh.
It was one of these very compliant businesses, and at the right time they targeted a specific client and swapped out an invoice, and the client lost
quite a bit of money.
6 figures.
Well over 6 figures. And so, and then bear in mind as well, like this person did not have cyber insurance.
Backups,
so there weren't backups. So they're essentially then liable for that.
If you think about that, it's not only the loss of that particular situation, but it's losing your reputation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is, like when it comes to small businesses, reputation,
everything.
Your connection is everything.
Absolutely.
If you, like, I mean, people are a lot more, for example, literate about cybersecurity and personal information. Just imagine that if you're running a business and you're not...
Hello everyone. 15 minutes before we close the library, so sadly it's time to pack up. Thanks again for visiting, and see you back at the library soon. Have a great evening.
I've had someone come to me and she wanted to start a childcare and she wanted funding to put on staff, and it's like, it's not how it works.
No.
Like I don't, or somebody else wanted funding to be able to buy a property. To run, they had a specific program they wanted to run and they wanted money to buy a property to be able to run that program in. It's like, if I could find that funding, I would have bought my own property and I'd be doing something with it. So there's not a lot of what's called capital grants, which are for private properties for you to be able to buy. And there's not a lot of funding to help you completely put on staff. There are government rebates if you hire staff from, say, a job network, or you hire someone who's what's classed as mature age or long-term unemployed or has a disability. There's definitely grants and funding rebates, and rebates are a whole different area again.
Well, one of the things that scare the shit out of many people would be the credit scores, especially the millennials, and with all the credit cards, buy now, pay later, and all of those things. Can you tell us a bit more about how that would impact the mortgage and loan space, please?
Yeah, so there's a number on your credit file, on your credit report that you can get. You can get it through different providers for free generally these days. You don't always have to pay for it. And they tend to advertise on TV. So some lenders will only lend to certain numbers. So like a high number. So the higher the number, the better. So if you have a low number, you may find that there's something about your financial situation that's impacting your credit score at that time. And there needs to be some understanding around that. Sometimes there's a very easy answer to it, and it could go to a mainstream lender. Other times it may not be for a mainstream lender, and we can do something for you, but there has to be a progression towards helping you out into the future to getting you that higher score, building your score up. So things like applying many times for credit, whether it be credit cards, personal loans, many home loan applications, sometimes can really adversely impact your credit score. Buy now, pay later, it factors into your expenses. So you really need to be careful if you're using those services, the impact that could potentially have as well in your affordability.
After paying off my HEX debt, that actually really helped.
Yes. So a mortgage broker will never shouldn't tell you to pay off things like your HEX debt, but because that's a very individual choice to make. But absolutely, you've hit on one of the things that can impact your affordability is that your HEX debt is factored in at what you've got to pay for that year to back in HEX. It's become quite prevalent recently.
Too is a professional like yourself would assess, or based on all of these factors, if the person can afford and how much of a space they can afford.
I've seen clients spending more than what they're making in wages sometimes.
Oh, boy.
So how will that work when you have a home loan? So you always got to think a bit logically around, what am I doing at the moment? What impact will that have on me? So, yeah, spending sometimes on multiple things can really add up fast. So,
yep.
Yeah, it's always, as I said before, use the free tools of the budgeting tools that are in a banking app.
Name a job you do in the multiverse where you're doing something else.
Ooh. A expert chef.
Oh, I didn't expect that. That's quite. There you go. What inspires you on a Tuesday?
On a Tuesday. Oh, what's going to get me through a Tuesday? Rock climbing in the evening.
What's a fun fact about yourself that not many people may know?
Let me think. I think not many people who've followed along on my journey recently would know this because I don't put it anywhere. But I really, really love dancing, and I actually took a lot of dance classes, once the COVID restrictions were eased. And it was something that I kind of grew up doing. Like even when I was really little, I apparently used to dance a lot and like perform for people in my living room and things like that. Yeah, which is really funny. And now these days, what that looks like for me is I occasionally take a dance class, and I've actually been very involved in the ballroom community here, and the kind of ballroom and Vogue Femme scene. So I do some Vogue Femme dancing. I think like I don't really. My Instagram profile is a professional account, and it's funny. I think I really enjoy doing it, but a lot of people who meet me in my day-to-day in my profession, they just like completely shocked when they hear that, or they're like, oh wow, and this. Yeah.
Well, that is amazing. That is amazing. Well, look, I appreciate it. You're making time in the evening and just pop shit to be like this.
Absolutely.
And then we just, yeah.
I love it.
All right.